Guys, today I am talking about the new DJI FLY update for the DJI Mini 3 Pro. Testing this on the Mini 3 Pro with the DJI N1 controller. The reason this is only available as we speak for the N1 controller version, the App Store version. So this is now available. What does this do? Well, this fixes certain issues and optimizes overall app quality. This is a term we're often used to now, and this normally means not a lot. So I'm going to go through this. I'm going to test it to make sure it's completely fine, completely working okay. I did test this on my last video when I was testing the tracking performance, and I have to say the actual app has been working spotless, really good. If you haven't checked that video out, go and do so after this. But I have been really enjoying using the N1 controller again with my phone, especially the new iPhone 14 Pro Max. The screen is super bright and the interface is so much snappier and faster than using the DJI RC. The RC is still my favorite controller to use because it's so handy to use. I really do enjoy it, but nevertheless I have been enjoying using the old classic N1 version. So let's get into this now, version 1.9.5. Let's go and test it and see just how good it is. So once you've got this updated, you'll notice that it now says app version 1.9.5. Now, before we get the drone in the air and do a quick test, it's important to go through the settings and make sure they're actually set like you want them to. The most obvious ones are the safety settings, obstacle avoidance, action. Have this set to bypass or brake. Bypass is my preferred one. Disabled sideways flight, I don't have this on. I enjoy flying sideways a lot, so I wouldn't recommend that. Now, display radar map, always have this turned on. This will show you on your radar map some little red dots, and if it detects any objects, you'll be able to see them there. Always have them on. And the height settings, I usually have my max altitude at 120 meters, but if my return home altitude needs to be actually higher than that, so say I'm in the middle of the countryside over some tall mountains, I will increase my max altitude to maybe 400 or 500 meters. So if I need to be able to clear them in the event of a signal loss, I can now access and go all the way up to 500 meters for return to home altitude as well. So don't think by going over 120 meters on this slider, the police are automatically coming for you. It's for you to not go over that when you're actually flying around, unless your signal cuts out. Battery info here is on the same page. I've got a brand new battery, and then advanced safety settings at the bottom of this page. I will just have this on return to home literally 90% of the time, and then we can come off that screen. Under control, about halfway down, you'll see gimbal calibration. This is where you can do a manual calibration of the drone. I'll talk about that in a second. And also under camera settings, make sure these are selected, so either normal or D-Cine-like, and then your coding format. Under sharpness and noise reduction, I would lower the noise reduction 100% when filming in the daylight, and it also decreases the sharpness as well. I find on the DJI Mini 3 Pro, it is really sharp. Now, if you are interested in all of these settings, I do have my own cheat sheets out which go into detail about these settings, and you can have these either printed or on your phone, so you've got access to them all the time when you're out and about. And I've had so many people feeding back to me saying just how good these are. But what's great, because these are a digital product, I can update these. So I've already pushed out 3 updates. The last one went into details about pro settings and the exposure triangle, especially for either beginners or if you're a professional. I've been filming quite a long time. Having handy cheat sheets with you that go into the settings, and the settings I would recommend when you're out and about certainly helps. You want to pick them up, they're just £10. So before I start any flight, I like to go to control and click on gimbal calibration, and then just check that everything is calibrated and everything is nice and straight. You can see here it's actually off. The horizon isn't good, so all I do now is just select either minus or the plus. Keep pressing this until that horizon is nice and straight. There's no point doing this afterwards or realizing, God, horizon level's not right. So this can get knocked quite easily in transportation, so make sure that is correct. And now I can check it, and that's looking much better. So I'm just going to go through and fly through this. Now, there isn't anything new or significant, but what I do like to test is that everything is working great and there's no bugs, there's no hunting problems with the focus, there isn't certain things going wrong. So I do like to test this for a few days and then give you my recommendation whether to update it or not. So let's just test out first of all the vertical mode. So as we go over this theme park here, I'm just going to test out vertical just in video first of all. Now this is actually called the big one roller coaster. Let me know in the comments if you actually have been on this. I went on this years ago and never again. It's got this really crazy drop, which you'll see in a minute on a photo, but that's working fine. Talking of photos, let's just test one out here. I always recommend switch over to JPEG and RAW. This will allow you to edit your photos. It captures much more detail. The file sizes are larger, but the quality is so much better. So photos do that. Okay, let's now move over to this now. Just look at this drop here. So this is the drop that you get on this. So you go right to the top, and then it's this sheer drop right down, and you're so high up on some roller coaster like this. Not for the faint-hearted. I don't recommend it. I do like roller coasters, but not this one. So we'll take another photo. This is the JPEG. This is what you're going to get straight away. And then you're going to get a RAW file, which allows you to then edit it. You can just drop a preset on like I've done here, and everything stands out more, much more detail, more sharper, and then you can edit it without losing detail. Okay, let's test this now back onto normal, onto horizontal mode. And I just check here to make sure that the gimbal is nice and straight, and there's no hunting issues. There's lots of competing colors. Is there any problems with the focus? And everything's working fine, so that's good to see as well. Okay, on to the next test, and this is my favorite feature that I use on the drone, and you'd be surprised, it's actually Spotlight. I love this, and I really recommend it. It's basically allows you to perform drone moves like an orbit shot, and the drone kind of does all of the camera motion for you. All I'm doing here is just going either diagonal right on the right stick or right or left on the right stick, and the camera is actually doing all the panning motion for you. So this delivers this awesome looking orbit shot like this, and this is fantastic for real estate or for showing off buildings. It looks like you are the best orbiting pilot in the world, and really all I'm doing is pushing right on that right stick. So anyone who has actually sent me any money for any commercial work, I don't use Spotlight, honest, but I recommend you doing this. This is a fantastic feature, and I'm lucky to say it's working great. And look, even from a distance away, it still is pinpointing on that same position. It is awesome. I love this feature. So overall, green light on a 1.9.5. I do recommend going updating it. It doesn't going to bring anything significant, but nothing's not working either. So if you've had any issues, any problems with your Fly app, just go and update it. These are for those people who have had issues, have reported issues. It fixes them. Now, once it's available on the RC, I will be testing that and I'll let you guys know as well. So hopefully we might get something new on there, but I will test it and let you know how I find that. But with regards to the actual app version, it is great. So go and enjoy and get this. If you are new around here, please consider liking and subscribing. That like button really does help, and subscribe for loads more content. Hope you enjoyed that. Have a fantastic weekend. See you soon.